Good afternoon, everyone. This is Maria.
This is Tim.
Today is Wednesday, March the 14th, 2018. Welcome to our daily recap.
Another fun day in the market. Had some chop out there today, Maria. Go ahead and give us the closing numbers on everything.
Absolutely. So the S&P closed lower for the third consecutive session today, down 0.6% to close at 2,749.48 points. That is down 15.83 points. The Dow suffered a little bit more, down about 1%. To close at 24,758.12. That's down 248.91 points. And the NASDAQ actually held up relatively well. It was still down, but down only 0.2% and lost 14.199 points to close at 7,496.81. So, Tim, we have a lot to cover today, a bunch of stuff. Guys, we know that this webinar is going to be long. We do try to keep it as short as we can, but we have a lot to cover. So let's go ahead and get started.
Yeah, today, the penny world is back. Low floats, RKDA. Wyatt said it best. This isn't a supernova. This is a pulsar. This was incredible. We had talked about this one last week. We had talked about it, touched on it Sunday night in our weekly recap of last week, and mentioned it as one to watch this week. Nobody could have expected this, but look at that one, Maria.
That was just a crazy, crazy, crazy move. Look at that. And talk about Halt City. I'm not gonna lie, I tried to scalp it. I was up 1800, got caught in a halt, put in a market order while it was still halted, and it filled market and I lost 20 bucks. So from positive 1800 to minus 20, that's okay. I'm happy that I got out with a $20 loss and not a much larger loss. I didn't try to go back and play it after that. I probably should have, but I did not.
Plenty of people killed it. I know that Tia and a lot of the low float room killed it today. We alerted at 1487. The thing hit 54.99. Probably had 4 or 5 halts. Just an incredible run. So we had plenty of people that profited off of it. So that's okay. We're not going. Me and you can't hit them all, but plenty of people did, and not just our room, but people everywhere. So what was the news on that, Maria? Let's hit that real quick.
Here's the news, guys. They announced wheat program breakthroughs. They announced today that they achieved 2 key technology milestones in its high fiber resistant starch wheat program. They developed non-transgenic wheat varieties that contain up to 94% amylose, the highest levels available. Okay.
The way this thing ran, I figured they cured cancer with blockchain technology. So interesting. The next one on the list I wanted to cover, number 2 alert on Black Box today, YTEN. That was, if RKDA didn't happen, YTEN was a good enough runner for anybody. So check that one out. And let's get some news on that. Yeah.
I don't have any news on it.
Where it kind of cups there and broke that high of day later in the day, you could just tell that was right then was the boom. That was the pow. Wow. Seed. Now we're talking about wheat, everything else. Look at seed. SEED. Killer alert on that one as well. Let's get that pulled up.
There we go.
Yeah, we actually, it was a lot lower. It's still a great alert. Percentage-wise, and still moving after hours as well. So that's one to watch. What was their news?
This is Origin CEO Dr. James Chen to attend an Elastos X Bitmain meetup, which is blockchain for scaling large enterprise dApps. Tomorrow, the discussion will be held in San Francisco. So he will present the company's strategies related to blockchain technology based rural e-commerce, and the discussion material will be filed with the SEC prior to the discussion.
All right.
Okay.
Interesting. Blockchain. There we go. EXR, another one. Just gorgeous alert. Gorgeous alert. We only had 65 alerts today, so just very impressed with the ones we had.
Sorry, guys. I don't know why my chart's going crazy today. We can make that stop. There we go. So here's the news. Daxter says patient care individualized by BVA reduces heart failure readmissions.
Well, we'll take
Nice
it.
news. All right.
You know, another one we had talked about last night. You know, smaller stock, but we did talk about it a little bit. RAS, and that one we had an alert on that one also. Let's see. Yeah, that one last night, you could just it felt like, I don't know, there was some momentum, you know, coming into that. So
And it did. It had a nice little run in the morning, and it pulled back. Let me just pull up a weekly on it real quick. So, I mean, it's still, if you take today's low, it's still technically, I mean, well,
that's
it's not exact. It's a higher low.
I mean, the chart's intact. We'll see what happens with it. I mean, it might not do anything, but another something to keep an eye on anyway.
I would definitely keep an eye on it. And guys, also, we haven't really talked too much to you guys about using stops when you're trading and stuff like that. Sometimes stops get a bad reputation or a bad name. Um, those stops are there to protect you. There's nothing wrong with taking profit. So maybe if you're in this trade and you're up and you're green because you've been playing it for a few days, might be a good idea just to get a protective stop in.
Absolutely. Here's one, you know, that was really good yesterday, and we've been talking about it for a long time. But the ZSAN closed red. Interesting. Interesting where it closed, though. I mean, it looks like it's close. You know, as far as the day goes, um, basically, I would call that support on the day. So we'll see how that one opens. It's just another one I like to keep an eye on because it just every time you count it out, it comes back.
I agree. I definitely agree. And if we look at it on the weekly, let me get that pulled up. Oops, I meant a 5-day. Yeah, still at support. So no position. We just are watching.
It's an interesting level there for me. So, you know, another one we had an early alert on was Square. Square, what a just crazy day, and that thing's been going ever since the R. Actually, while we're doing this, I hear them talking about it on CNBC right now.
I punked out a Square today. I scalped it and made like literally I only bought 2 contracts because I didn't know. Sometimes when things run so much, I get hesitant to try to play it too big. So I bought like 2 contracts, maybe 3 candles in on a 1-minute chart, and I held it and probably sold it like right here. So I made like nothing after commission, but I at least tried to play it.
Well, we had several that did. So, you know, we've had some that's just been in it for a while and just is still staying in it. So we'll see how that goes. You know, we talked about one of them last night was one we didn't know, but it had a lot of volume. Not a lot of volume after hours. It was kind of light volume, but it was a stock we hadn't heard of. So we wanted to keep an eye on that today was RFIL. And, you know, that ended up having a relatively decent day at times. Yeah, so you can see where it was last night on the chart she's showing. The pre-market just kept going. So, yeah,
Nice
that one
play.
was interesting from last night's scanner. PTI, we started talking about this one this is Wednesday, Monday night, and I never get on StockTwits and say a low float's going to run. It's just not my thing. But I did on PTI. That happens about once every 3 to 4 months. I usually go in there and post flow or something. our bigger stocks. But PTI, and we said it again yesterday, don't think it's over, and got some continuation out of PTI today.
There's actually some after hours news today too.
I did not even know that.
FDA grants orphan drug designation for PTI 428 in cystic fibrosis. So definitely one to keep an eye on for tomorrow.
What was the news on the 12th?
Back
They got
on the 12th.
they got breakthrough designation on something then as well.
What is the difference between this news?
That's what I'm trying to figure out. I mean, when you read it there, I mean, I'm seeing it just like you are on the fly there.
Give me 1 second. Let me pull up these side by side. Maybe we can figure it out.
Looks like they just recycled it.
Is that recycled news?
Looks like it.
Well, let's see. Oh, that's March 14th. There. So this is the one on the 12th on the left, and this is the one on the 14th. Yeah, it's the exact same news.
Yeah, no, it says right here, this is the second important regulatory designation that has been granted from the FDA this week.
Oh, sweet.
So,
Sorry. So it is a different designation.
all right. Anyway, keep your eyes on it.
Yeah.
You know, that's one that we thought was going to have some continuation. It did. ECYT been kind of a favorite lately of a lot of people's. Little down a little bit today, but you know, as far as where it held, let's go ahead and pull up ECYT, Maria.
Here we go.
Probably after we look at it on a daily, I want to go ahead and look at it on a. Let's go ahead and look at it on the week.
Nice cup and handle. Close enough for me anyway. Let me pull up the weekly.
I like the fact it closed back over 10. So I want to keep an eye on this one again too. Actually, it probably needed that because it's been on a monster run. So I don't think we've seen the end of that one. We'll see. Keep an eye on that one. CVRS, Charlie, Victor, Robert, Sam. Also wanted to have a look at. I mean,
my charts are possessed today. Sorry, guys. I'm just moving on their own. Nice run. Starting to pull back a little bit after hours. It looks like they had fourth quarter and full year 2017 results today.
Okay, so it ran into the results. Okay.
Yep.
So, all right. Yeah, somebody had asked me about that one, so I wanted to take a look at that one. You know, just been an incredible day on small counts. I mean, just literally an incredible day. So, you know, let's go into some bigger stocks. Twitter, you know, last night they were on, had one of their guys on Kramer, new 52-week highs on Twitter. Geez, what a day there. I know some people played it. Yeah,
let
go
me
ahead
show
and
you
pull
this
up the
options flow. I mean,
I did not
seriously.
play Twitter today, and it was my own fault. And it was literally my own fault. I was Q trading a lot today, but look at that. It's mostly calls. And you see the above the ask coming through there. It's 39s for 420, 111,000 I see on your screen. Just a ton of flow still coming into Twitter. Very few puts. So, you know, we'll see. I mean, at this point, I guess you got to start watching for the 40s, but we'll see. So Twitter had an amazing day. Square we talked about, and they just were pumping that again on CNBC. And I just seen PTI go by on my screen, so that's interesting. You know, one Facebook, which me and you went ahead and bought some today. You know, we talked about earlier, choppy day and the markets being down, but look at Facebook and how that held today.
Let me get this pulled up on a different chart. Here's a 5-minute on the day. Go ahead, Tim. Sorry.
No, I was just gonna say we did get some of that for. When did we buy Facebook for? Next week? Seems like.
Yes. So we a couple of us in the room, we bought next
No,
week's
we bought
185s. I also bought an April 185.
right, exactly. I knew you got some too. So yeah, a couple of us did go ahead and get next week 185s just because of the way that held. So we'll see. We did follow some flow onto that one. So incredible day. PayPal. We talked about Square. PayPal. Maria, look at PayPal. I mean, and we had. I know Vishal played it last week. We had talked about going ahead and getting into PayPal. We did not, and geez, and it's still moving after hours today. So just another one, incredible day. Mostly on the flow there, calls, a couple puts here and there. I see. What, 3 puts out of 25 right there? So mostly bulls. So congrats there on PayPal. And I think they were going ahead and buying out a little further on that one too. So that one may have some more room.
April 27th, we have a June down here, a couple of Junes, end of April, end of March.
AMD is still in business today. So, all that drama they had yesterday between this guy's going to be on CNBC and the Gmail emails we talked about, they were actually up this morning. Didn't see how they closed, but you see a lot of puts still coming in there.
A lot of puts, but I wanted to point this out real quick. If we look at, well, let me highlight it now. Can you guys see my cursor? Probably not. If you look at, oh, you can see my cursor?
Yeah.
All right. So
a lot of those are on the bid.
Look at all of these on the bid. So I don't know if these are puts that were previously purchased that were closed out, or if this is people writing puts, which is a
would be
possibility.
bullish.
Right. So AMD, let me pull it up over here. I mean, just look at that consolidation end of day, or even just this channel right here.
Doesn't look like they're going out of business to me.
No. And, the point was brought up in the room earlier too. 6 months ago, news that like yesterday, if that had come out 6 months ago on AMD would have been down several points. AMD is still holding 11. Like it's still, well into the 11s.
Right. It traded like a penny stock forever. Now it's trading more, level-headed. So we've always said it's back on our meds. So we do like that. Babo we picked up today.
Yes, we did.
And AABA, another one. I would pull up flow on both of them, BABA and AABA, actually.
So here's BABA first. Kind of split. Well, yeah, kind of split calls and puts. What did we pick up? We picked up the 46197.50. So April 6th, 197.50s starter position. So not a heavy position or anything like that. The idea was just to start the position. If it pulls back, which it might do, since it seems to like to do that, around 193, 194, we will pick up some more contracts on a dip. But we started the position, and again, we bought the April 6th 197.50s.
Then
you wanted
Microsoft.
to see AABA?
Oh yeah, AABA. Sorry about that. Yeah, I did want to see the flow on that one. This one is just pretty flow. Not a bear in the bunch, right? It's all just all calls, sweeps, and some decent sized ones in there too. Those 80s. You see that one on the ask, 351,000. So AABA had an upgrade, right? Was that recent or was that? No, that was last month.
That was February 28th, correct?
Yeah. Oh, I was going to say Microsoft. Vishal got a starter position going on that today. We have not got back into that one, but that's one that's definitely on the buy list. He said he was only going to go about 30% of his position, or maybe it was 50%. I don't remember. So he's got a little starter position there, but he's got plenty of time. So that's something I'm looking to join with. Had a dip after hours, so it looks like it's came back. here's one where we don't usually see a lot of flow in penny stocks, right? Or low floats,
Right.
whatever you want to call them. AVEO.
Come through.
So it's always something that makes me say, right?
They did have some news come out yesterday. Let's see what this says. Sees 33.5 million in cash resources, allowing Aveo to fund planned operations into Q1 2019. So they got some cash, which is good for them,
Yeah,
right?
good for
We
them.
have a member in the room that actually played this last year and killed it, just destroyed it. It was a gorgeous trade.
Yeah, like
So
what?
yeah, so definitely some sweeps coming in July, 4.5s and fives.
Just interesting, something to keep an eye on. I mean, nothing major on size, but when I see that in a penny stock, because I had that AUPH that I picked up last year for what was it, 15, 16 cents, and sold it for 275.
So awesome.
So,
Yeah.
um, and we'll talk about them in a few minutes too, because I believe they got ER. But Nvidia, another one that's off the meds. A day like this, choppy market, usually you can get $4 or $5 down on Nvidia. Today, choppy market, Nvidia held in there pretty well.
And it was some nice range. It was enough range to where I was able to scalp long and short. So I played it in the first half of the day. I caught it long, and then I caught a short on it. I could have gone long again here, but I didn't. I was playing the Qs and BA and stuff like that, so I did not go back to Nvidia.
One we had picked up for ourselves today was eBay, and we did follow this flow, the 43s for 420. We'll ride those for a couple weeks probably, and may ride them closer to ER. So we'll see. That's one that we're in. Another one we picked up was PENN. All calls. I mean, all calls, sweeps, one block there. Nothing major. And we just took a small shot at it. Nothing big, but it'll be interesting.
Yeah, this
BA.
one, BA. Let's get Boeing pulled up. Actually, let's go to this chart for Boeing. Let's really take a look at Boeing.
Yeah, this is one we were swinging last night. I looked like a genius for about 5 minutes on the market when the market opened. Right, for a good 5 minutes, I was at least as good as Warren Buffett. Then I turned out to be more Bill Ackman. Sorry, Bill, but for about 5 minutes, I was Warren Buffett. We did get out of those. We took a couple $100 loss, but you traded back in and out of it, and recovered that for us on the same stock, which I was thankful for. And then it got down there, and Tech Money and Vishal, one of them or maybe both of them, it said somewhere around 322. They felt like was the bottom, whatever
Tech
indicators they
Money
were
is the one
using.
that brought it up in the room. I think Vishal was at school, I believe, or
Right.
Wall Street was at school, but Tech Money came in the room and said he was going long. And we cut some nice trades through here, all through here.
Yep. Nice trades. And we are swinging a 350 for April 20th, which we don't intend on holding that long by any means. Back in the same one we were in last night, except today we got it way, way cheaper than we got it yesterday. So that was interesting, but good call on Tech Money. A lot of people played that. A lot of the new people played this week's and next week's, and got out. Good score. So BA, that was interesting. MU, this was my fault. MU, I did not like the open. We were swinging MU, and I did punk out, right? I mean, I just straight punked out of MU and said, Maria, get us out of that one. Only to watch it turn around and, be right. But we have to respect our stops, and, it was under where we bought it by enough percentage that I said cut it. It did end up going positive, but we didn't go to the hopium house with it. So, we did cut it. A lot of people still played MU, did well on it today. Intel, another one we're swinging. We got some new positions in that yesterday. We've been killing Intel. Kind of had a flat day. I thought it held very well for the choppy market. So we are still in Intel.
Yeah, look at that
DSW.
on Intel before you move on. I'm gonna call that a consolidation day.
Absolutely, I'll take it, and it probably needed it. DSW, we were swinging. We've got plenty of time on that one to see if, and it depends on how it acts tomorrow. If it gets under 21, we'll probably just cut it. But I, I'll take that. I still think that's consolidation there as well.
What was
We'll see.
encouraging, what was encouraging about DSW is that with the retail sales numbers being down, yes, it took that hit, but it actually climbed back. And I'm happy with where it closed. 21.33, low a days
Yeah,
20.80. I'm totally okay with where it closed.
totally okay with that. It just needs a decent day there. I know you picked up Autodesk today as well. April 140s. Go
So
ahead
I
and
picked
pull
up
that one up.
140s. I caught it. I'm green on those. I want to say I probably caught it somewhere around here. So I'm barely green on them. But if we let me, and I know we've talked about Autodesk before too. I like this one a lot. I love, actually, let me go back. From this ER gap up, look how well this is held, right?
That's amazing.
You've
I
got,
mean,
yeah.
yeah, I think you picked that up at a good spot. Just looking at the chart, I was kind of jealous of that one. Um, so no, good call on that one. I know you also sold your Splunk today.
I
You
did.
had
So
105.
Splunk it hit a high of 109.88. I sold it right after that high a day. Namish or Tech Money got out pretty much at high a day. I got out a little bit after him, but I was holding May 105s and May 115s. I got out of both very green. So thank you, Splunk.
Yep. Cree, you sold that one today. Your May 44s, a little bit green.
Yeah, just a little bit. They were green and then they were red and then they were green and then yesterday they were red and then I was like, okay, the next time they go green, I'm out. They went green. It was just a little bit. I sold them. I was like, forget it. I'll just. I don't normally play this one as often. I like stocks that have that, or at least contracts that move just a little bit more in the direction I want them to, preferably. So I went ahead and cut it.
We just talked about Intel. Pete Nigerian's pumping it right now. His fast pitch, why buy Intel? Management fundamentals, strong growth plan. Pete, we agree. We're in, so pump that fucker. CRM, you got, and I don't mean that in a bad way. I mean, I like the Nigerians, obviously, legends. So yes, please keep pumping Intel. Let's pump it to about 55. Um,
Exactly.
CRM, you got out of that. That one has just been a beast. I know you got out of that one today.
Oh my gosh. So this one, I swear this morning when it opened, I was like, I'm not getting. I mean, I was like, my contracts are gone because I had 128s for this week. And I literally thought those were just done. And they actually went green on me, and I sold them, made a little bit of money on them. I'm happy with it. I love CRM long term. I don't want to buy it up here, but if we can get a little bit of a dip, I will go long.
I think it's important too to because we talked about the chop in the day, and then, like you said earlier, the Nasdaq held in there very well. But if you look at what really kept the Nasdaq as high as it was, look at all the fangs. I mean, we talked about Facebook already. We're in that one. Incredible day today. Not that the market got beat up or anything, because the Nasdaq down 14 points isn't even an elbow scrape. I mean, like that's like stumping your little toe, or something. It's not a bad day, but Fang held up very well. We talked about Facebook. Look at Amazon.
I
I
mean,
mean,
yes, it's off
it
those
didn't.
high. It's off that high the other day of 16, 17. When was that? Yesterday. But shit, it's still at. I mean, it's still close enough to 16. Um, I think it held up remarkably. Right? Like,
Uh,
I think, end of last year or November, October, I would have expected like this waterfall here. I would have expected that the entire day. but no, Amazon held beautifully.
Amazon held beautifully. Netflix, which was we talked about the last couple of days. I was hoping to get a really low ball entry on that, and I guess the low ball entry was yesterday. Um, just incredible day. And again, shrugging off everything. Back over 320. Last I checked, where did it close?
321.65. Or I'm sorry, I don't know if that's
Yeah,
that might be after hours. Let's look at today. Yeah, 321 something or the other in that 321 area. Geez, I'm kind of mad we didn't pick something up yesterday on this one. Um, but yeah, definitely I will look. I would like to go longer term on Netflix. Um, I'm gonna watch it for a day or two.
yeah. I still want to see some. I mean, I hoped we could get it at 300, and that was
That would have
hopium
been
on my
perfect.
part. Yeah, but Andrew, not today, buddy, not today.
Right.
Google, same thing. Look at Google. I mean, just all of Fame, Facebook. Well, except you know what? Not all Fame. Forget Apple for a second. We'll pull that up in a second as well.
Google held up very well. I'm going to call that a consolidation day. Look at that. Higher low. I'll take it.
I'll take it. I spoke wrong. I said all of Fame just kicked ass. Apple, and I believe you picked up some
I
180s
did.
for April.
I did. Here's the daily. I'm actually red on that right now. I picked it up around here or so. I was green on them, and then I don't know what happened here. Oh yeah, I think the whole market just, you know, pulled back. That's when it initially started pulling back. I'm still in it. I only picked up a starter position because it's Apple. I was, I like an entry under 180 on Apple, so that's what I got. Well, did I get that? Let me make sure. I want to say it was close enough. I remember saying it's close enough for me to buy it. So those are for April. I have some time on them. It's a very small position. We'll see what happens with it.
Merck, we do still own Merck, and we did see some continuation in the call action on that today. Go ahead and pull up MRK. There was some action in that one. So if we can get a decent day.
There's a this week 55 above the ask. I saw that one come in. A lot of these are for this week.
A few puts in there. We'll see how that one does. We are still in that one. J&J, we talked about that one yesterday. We're still in J&J. And PTI is running, Maria, but we'll get back to that in a second on the after-hour scanner. So apparently they liked the news that was almost the same news. But J&J, this morning we were green on them. J&J was looking good, 135.70 or so. And I quit looking at it, and somebody had asked me in the room, "Are you still in?" And I'm like, "Well, yeah." And I look, and I'm like, "Wow!" I mean, it just got creamed. But we do have April 20th, which gives us the whole next ER. We'll see how that happens. But yeah, we are still in J&J. So I did want to bring that up. Had I seen that right there coming, we'd have took our barely green or even maybe a small loss. But I had no idea. It's just not something I was looking at because I glanced at it this morning. It seemed pretty safe at the time. And we see what happened after that. So anyway, still in Merck, still in J&J. We picked up that pin. PayPal, did we look at the flow on that?
We did
I
those
think we
43
did.
or 50 something. Hold on.
No, PayPal, 80 something.
Sorry, I don't remember if we looked at this flow. I was thinking about eBay.
Yeah, you said about eBay. So look at that. I don't see a put unless I've got them filtered out, which I do. So that's my fault.
That's all right.
And I still, if you scroll up and down through there, there's only 3 puts in that whole day, and that's a lot of flow. But still, three puts. So PayPal, I did want to just touch on that flow again real quick. Sorry, I should have mentioned that earlier
That's okay.
when we were looking at PayPal. Twitter, I'm going to hit the flow on that real quick. And I think
Twitter saw, we talked about it just a little bit, we touched on it, but I think that what really kind of stood out is that a lot of these that were coming in are longer dated. We've got 37s out to January 2019 on the ask. They're paying $6.50 for these contracts, and there's a bunch of them. There's some more here. There's some more over here. We've got. I mean, they're not. It's not like. It's almost like people are. They're not afraid to go long term on Twitter now.
so that was
Whereas
interesting.
before, you might see some flow, but it was usually a lot, at least from what I remember, it was a lot shorter term. But now you actually have people going out to January. So that actually, that tells me something. So probably should have, but it was already, high a day when I thought about it. And I don't like to buy it high a day. So I waited, but I may pick up a small position in Twitter, not out to January, but maybe out to the next ER.
Yeah, if I can get a decent dip on Twitter, I will definitely be buying that and Square longer term. I just haven't been able to get a dip on either one that I was happy with. Sometimes you just may have to take the dip you get versus the one you're happy with. That's all I had except the after-hour scanner. I mean, we got some ERs tomorrow, but we can hit the after-hour scanner before the ERs unless you got anything else you had.
I didn't have any other ones that I wanted to really look at, except for LRCX, which here's the chart. I love where it's holding this level after this nice, pretty bump here, or not bump, run here. I love where it's holding. Yes, it's off the highs, but
Yeah, but
I'm seeing some solid support.
that's perfect. I mean, where it consolidated there, and went from there, and it's coming right back down to that. So LRCX is definitely one to watch for sure.
Yeah, that's all I had. Let's check
So
out
let's
this
pull up that
after-hour
after-hour
scanner.
scanner.
Here we go.
SMRT. It's not one I know. Sounds like a blockchain play. I don't know. It's up 33.5% on 175,000. So it's got some kind of news. You might want to go ahead and pull that one up, Maria.
It's Steinmart.
SMRT. Oh, okay.
Steinmart.
Well,
They must have
Steinmart
beat.
blockchain.
No, no.
I'm
They
kidding,
reported this
everybody.
afternoon. They reported this
Okay.
afternoon.
Look at PTI, number 2 on the scanner. And, I mean, we said it Monday. We said it yesterday. This one's not done. And it is appearing it's not done. I mean, I wanted to tell everybody this has got 10 written all over it, and I still think it does, but
Jeez.
no position. So, but I mean, just look at it. Look at the couple day chart here, Maria.
Oh my God. I can't. I'm still looking at the after hours chart. Look at this gorgeous, beautiful, just climb.
Yeah.
Wow. Beautiful. Okay. You wanted a couple days? Let's go
Mm-hmm.
5 days.
Yeah, let's go the 5 day on it.
There you go.
But look, you see how, I mean, look at, you had that pop, consolidation, pop. This is the one that we
Gorgeous.
said on Monday night. It needed to cross 630, which it did. What is the 52 on that? Let's just go ahead and pull that up while we're talking about it. 1316 back on March 28th of last year. Well, keep an eye on this one, everybody. Keep an eye on this one. I like it. CAPR after hours up 14.2% on 110. Let's call it 110,000 shares. And PTI just jumped again, Maria.
Can we look at the 1 minute again? Just the after hours. Oh my gosh.
It's still going. I mean, I'm telling you. Listen, y'all don't hear me say this very often about low floats and like literally, but I'm just like I was on Monday night. I still feel the same way. Keep an eye on this one. Keep an eye on this one.
I
It
mean,
had every marker I wanted to see.
let me pull up that yearly. Where did it go? It's in front of my face. There we go. So we're up here. Not a lot of resistance. At least, going a year back, not a lot of resistance to get back to fill this gap over here.
Yeah.
I think that if there's enough volume, this one could actually continue. I like it. I like it a lot.
Number 3 after hours, ICON. Not a lot of volume, 70,000, up about 14%. Ruby. Somebody had mentioned that earlier in the day, so it's up almost 12% on 60,000 shares.
Did they actually beat Ruby Tuesdays? Whoops.
No, that's Rubicon. That's not Ruby Tuesdays.
Oh,
That's
sorry.
Rubicon.
It's been a long
You're
day,
okay.
guys.
Hey, we've got that many symbols in our head. I remember playing this thing closer to $10, a couple of years ago. So yeah, that talk about falling out of bed. BKS up, 11.5% on almost 400,000.
That's ER, I believe.
Yeah, let's go ahead and hit that ER real quick. Guys and gals, we will cut this in a few minutes, but just a lot to talk about today. Yeah, go ahead and look and see. Did
they see their full year 2019 EBITDA 175 to 200 million. So did they actually report, or did they just up their guidance?
Oh, this is Barnes and Noble.
Yeah, I think they just upped their guidance. They didn't actually report. This is just an upped guidance. So they reported back on the 1st, and today they updated their full year 19.
One more we'll look at real quick, and then we will get on 2 more, and then we'll be done with after hour scanner. Look at CAPR real quick. It's up about 10% on 120,000 shares. That one in DDD. I do want to look at DDD before we're done, but look at Kapler after hours. Interesting. Okay, so they just released their earnings update. So let's keep an eye on Kapler tomorrow. And DDD, they released today as well, Maria. Off the highs. Might be one to watch as well.
So they beat. I did not see guidance on them yet. I don't know when they're doing their call, or if they're releasing guidance, but they beat the top and the bottom. Here's the actual report. Q4 non-GAAP EPS of 5 cents on a consensus of 0. Q4 rev 177.3 million on a consensus of 163.47 million. Let me get the chart pulled up so you can see it a little bit clearer. Oops, 3Ds. So nice pop, hit a high of 1375, came down, still holding this level. I will be watching this one tomorrow. I want to see what it does.
I want to see what that one does as well. And I mean, the TLRD, it's a lot of volume on that one. That one was ER. Williams Sonoma, a lot of volume. It's up about 5%. TLRD and Williams Sonoma, both ERs, both beat. Up about 5%. Maria, just show the after hour scanner if you want to, just so everybody can get a quick look at it.
Sure. Sorry, after hour scanner. Here we go. 700,000 shares, 745 on Tailored Brands. Yeah, 5.5% move. WSM, 734,000 shares, up 5.2%. Very nice.
FLDB, whoa, down 54% on 114,000 and change.
Jeez.
Specs after hours down as well. That was a mover yesterday. Ton of
Specs
ER
did an offering.
Well, it figures. So Specs did an offering.
Here is SLDB. Ignite DMD, it's phase 1/2 clinical trial. gene transfer in a name I'm not going to pronounce
Muscular
correctly,
dystrophy.
muscular dystrophy, has been placed on clinical hold. So one of their trials has been placed on hold.
All right.
And
So
specs, they did an offering after hours. Down to about $1.43. And that's one of the risks, guys, with a lot of these lower price stocks. That's why we always tell everyone, be careful, have a stop order in at least intraday. This one happened after hours, but you have to stay on top of stocks that are known to be a little bit more volatile, a little bit more risky, because you never know when they're going to do an offering. If they do an offering,
sure.
You're going to lose money if obviously depending on where you've bought. So definitely, let's look at specs real quick. Low of
Then let's go to
132.
after hours. All right, let's go to ERs after that.
Perfect. All right. So again, guys, please be careful when you're trading these lower price stocks. Having a stop order in place is not a bad thing.
Absolutely.
Use them. They're there to protect you. So ERs.
Tons of
Let's
ERs
look at that.
tomorrow.
Oh my gosh,
Did you
we do have a
realize
lot.
we had all those reporting tomorrow? One of my favorites, Amy, AMRS. But I'll let you talk about all of them, but just a lot of ERs tomorrow.
So AMRS is, well, let me go in order. Pre-market, we have Dollar General, Jill, ADT, that's A, Apple, D as in David, T as in Tom. After hours, we've got quite a few. AMRS, AUPH, AVGO, Cara, JBL, Overstock, Ulta, Sumizi, and Revlon. Also, Adobe. So actually, I want to talk about Adobe real quick. I love Adobe. If you guys are in the room with me, you know that I love Adobe. I love Adobe long term. I use Adobe daily, almost. Their design products, I use them almost daily. I love this company. I love the stock, but I will say again, Adobe has to not only beat and guide well, they have to come out and really impress people. And I think that now that everything has moved over to, or all, at least on their design side, which is, it's a large part of their business. Now that all of those programs have moved to a subscription-based or type of, it's not, you have to buy a subscription now. You can't just buy the standalone product. Now that that's moved over, I think that Adobe really has to come out and impress people. So I will be watching their ER very closely. I do have a couple of contracts, I'm sorry, one contract left in Adobe, and I will sell that tomorrow before the ER. I will not be holding that one through ER.
That's all I've got. That's a ton.
I
Big
do.
webinar today.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah. I don't know if you have anything else to say about AMRS.
Just, I mean, those guys, you can't ask for a better group of, bulls out there. I mean, they've been loyal as it gets. So just impressed. Wishing them luck. Absolutely. And after ER, I may even get in as well. I wanted to see that first, So.
Absolutely. I love the company. I'm not holding a position, but I do like the company. I really want to see them come out and do well. So we're definitely rooting for the Bulls. All right, guys, I think that's all that we have. Thank you. If you've watched the entire thing from beginning to end, thank you for hanging with us. We know that we covered a shit ton of stuff. Um, we appreciate you staying and listening. If you have not subscribed to our channel yet, please subscribe, like, and share our videos and our channel. We would appreciate it. And I hope you all have a great night.
Goodbye, everybody. Thank you.
Good night. Bye.